Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Mark Bayersky YouTube channel, and welcome to a glorious, sunny Mijas Pueblo in Andalucía, Spain. This is where my academy is, called the Pure Energy Healing Academy, and for the past 12 years I've been helping people along a journey to find their inner power and to clear all the fear and all the worry from their life, to be able to at least experience a short moment of utter bliss, balance, inner peace, and everything that we know deep inside we have. But because of what's happening outside, it's hard for us to feel. Many people find that along their journey, they burn out and they realize that everything that they chased or believed what was important in their life, they realize that it isn't anymore. So they then, a bit like the Beatles, you know, they got all this stardom and fame, and then next thing you heard that they were in a kibbutz with many gurus trying to find themselves, and that's predominantly something that happens to most of us, whether we're famous, whether we chase a dream, and we get to that dream and realise that wasn't a dream after all. It's a programming, actually, from birth. Our parents and society, it programs us to be good boys and girls, you know, get a job, get married, get a mortgage, aim for the highest level you can in whatever work you do. It's kind of been like that forever. But the beautiful thing is we're all changing now. We're all realising that what we're chasing is just our tail, and we are becoming awakened. We are awakening by the millions, and we're saying, actually, this society that we live in, what we've created, or what a few have created to make money from us, that's the 1% who own half of the world's wealth. We've played their game, and we realise that something's not right anymore. We're becoming ill, we're becoming depressed, we're becoming lost. And now we're awakening, so it's kind of like mankind, humanity have fallen. We've all fallen now. We're on the floor, and that is the most amazing moment in our lives, that we realise the truth about why we're here, who we actually are, and what we're doing here. What is it all about? These are the questions that you ask when you break free from the system, or what I call the darkness. It's very clever manipulation, but you know, it's a beautiful day, and today's topic of conversation, you know what I'm like, I always go off on one, but today's topic of conversation is a really, really interesting one. It really is. I once gave a talk about 5 years ago about this subject, and it started at 10 o'clock and we finished at, I think, 3. So you can see within 5 or 10 minutes for me to actually give you all the information, there's not a chance. But what I can do is skip through some of the highlights of what happened to me, and that's it really. I can only share you my own personal stories. I don't like to share other people's stories because I don't know whether they're true or not, but my stories are true to me. If you believe that truth, it doesn't matter if you don't, but I'm going to share it anyway. Around my mum had just passed, and I think I was about 13 years old, and I used to be on the CB radio, and I made a friend on there. I'm not going to say his name, and the reason why is because he's in the light now, and I don't want to talk bad or ill or anything about people who are in the spirit world, and I just don't want to talk about his name, okay? But I'm gonna tell you, and it's really difficult because I want to tell you, but for some reason something's stopping me, so I can't. So I'm not gonna, okay? I know his handle. I remember his first name, I didn't know his last name, I only slept with him in the bed. I thought it was really weird because I'd never done this before. I slept at that end of the bed, he slept at that end of the bed. I've never slept with another guy because, I was always going home on a night, and this was really strange, but it was really nice because we got on really well, and, we got on really well as kids. And he was a new friend, and like I said, I only met him through the CB. My handle name was Dr. X, as in UB40, Return of Dr. X, if anybody ever heard that. It's a brilliant album. So, one night we were invited to a party, and it was the mother and father had left, and it was a post office shop, and they lived above it, and it was two brothers. And for some reason, the music had stopped, everybody had gone, and then these two boys brought out a board game. And I wondered what the board game was, because I'd never seen anything like it. And we sat down and they said, right, we need to do the board game with the lights dimmed. So we need to switch the lights off and put some candles on. Bear in mind, I had no idea, positive or negative, no idea, okay? Nobody had influenced me at all about this board game, at all. So I had no knowledge or information at all to make any judgment. So they put this board game down, and there was a glass cup, and there was all these letters. I can't remember where the letters, whether it was around or whether it was here and there, I'm not sure. But it was a little cup, a glass cup, and it was part of this board game. And it had letters on, loads of letters, and a yes and a no. That's all I can remember. And to be honest, I've never looked at one ever since, just so you know. So they started saying, okay, this board game now is where we all put our finger on. So we put the finger on, and then they said, ask any question. And I didn't know what was going on, but they started asking questions, and as they asked, it moved. This thing was moving. This cup was moving. This glass cup was moving, and it came to me anyway, and it said, I said, what car will I get when I'm older? And it went, Datsun Cherry. Okay, and all of a sudden, all I can remember, because all the lads were sort of laughing and sort of smiling. So there was no fear there. They were just laughing and enjoying themselves. And I was wondering who was pushing. Were we all pushing it? I don't know. But then all of a sudden, I can remember this one particular moment when I asked another question. And all of a sudden, I got this feeling that somebody had cloaked my body with fear. It was a really strange feeling, but it was a feeling like I had when I was a little boy growing up, and at the end of my bed there was spirit there, and I was petrified. Okay, I didn't know what it was, but it was the same feeling, and it overcame me with a chill, a really, really bad and negative feeling. I felt sick. And I started feeling that there was something very, very, very wrong with what was happening. I started feeling that we were talking to somebody which was not of this world, but it was not a light or positive or a wonderful feeling. I felt heavy, and I was looking at these other boys. There was 4 of us all together, and I could see this enthusiasm, but in a very addictive way. It was almost like they were being pulled into it. And I've got to tell you, I kind of felt that. And because I felt this pull, I thought, there's something here that I'm out of control with. I kind of started feeling that I was allowing something to take over what we were doing and what I was doing. I was becoming, but not in a way that you do tarot cards or channeling of spirit. This felt like it was controlling. This didn't feel like a flow. This felt like this should not be happening. It felt like I should not be doing this. Now, remember, all the other boys were laughing, and I'd never seen anything like this before, and I didn't ask what. I thought it was a game. But the feeling I got was intensely negative, and I felt myself giving my power away. Now, when you come to the Pure Energy Healing Academy and you open up and allow spirit to come through, that's a completely different feeling. It's a completely different feeling. You feel energized, you feel in control, but you step out of the way, but you still feel this immense white light of love and compassion and spirit's, I would say, friendship, communication in a way of walking together, respect. So this was different. This was heavy. This was like something was trying to take control. Something was manipulating. Something was doing something that wasn't right. And I've never forgot that ever since. The friend that I spoke about hung himself a few years later, and I was told, this is really sad, it makes me really upset. I was told he got addicted to this board game. Nobody knows, truthfully, why he took his life. Anyway, let's get back to the Ouija board, okay? I am not just a healer, but I've sat in front of people and read for them, and you may say, well, Ouija is the same as tarot, but I don't read the tarot card like other people read them. They are just a tool that opens me up to feel more and express myself. In fact, I don't use them all the time. I just tune in on energy, so they're only a spark that helps me see. And if you look at my cards, they're nothing like tarot cards. So, you know, I don't like to tick boxes, and I don't like to call myself a tarot reader, but some people want to know that you are, so that's fair enough. So getting back to the 12 years I've been doing this, I have attuned to thousands upon thousands of people every single day for 12 years with different experiences. Now, I am not saying that the Ouija board is bad, and I'm sure there are people out there who have greatly experience wonderful things, and who am I to argue with that, because that's their experience. But I'm only sharing with you the experiences what I know. Okay, let's try and look at it another way. Imagine you take away the word Ouija board and change it for marijuana. Okay, just bear with me, okay? You get two people, okay, and one person smokes marijuana for a year, and another one smokes marijuana for a year, and this guy here lives happily ever after, and it's fine. This guy goes into deep depression, starts worrying all the time, starts being fears of anxiety, and then starts to have depression, and then becomes so paranoid, then all of a sudden this eats away at him, and then he's in bed and he can't function. Now, I know people like that. And I've read and said to people, be careful if you ever take drugs, because it will affect you more than it will others. The same goes with the Ouija board. I'm not saying that if you're weak, it's going to affect you. What I'm saying is that some things in life can affect people in different ways. Not because they're weak, it's just because of who they are in a physical manner and an emotional manner, okay? It's a bit like healing. Some people can have a healing in one session and their whole life changes, and some people can have session after session after session after session, and it just takes so long to break through. So I'm trying to explain to you without you guys coming on and saying you're this or you're that because you pull the Ouija board down. I'm not pulling the Ouija board down. I'm not saying it's bad. All I'm saying to you is my experiences and what I've experienced with clients. So I've got to be honest, I've never had anybody who's come to me who have said that I do the Ouija board every week and it's wonderful and I'm strong, and so I can't represent that side because nobody's ever said that to me. I can only share with you what people have told me about their story. Look, I've got hundreds of them. I'll give you another one. A lady came to me who was devastated. And I started reading for her and I didn't know exactly what was going on, and all of a sudden I felt a daughter and a father, and I said, there is an issue with daughter and father. I can feel it, and they're trapped, and it feels like they're selling their soul, or they've given it away. And she burst into tears, and when I'd finished she says, can I tell you what it is now? And I said, yeah. She said, my husband and my daughter are addicted to the Ouija board, and I don't know what to do. They are becoming something else. They're not, my husband is not my husband anymore. My daughter is not my daughter. They can't function without the Ouija board anymore. They have to have the Ouija board all the time. And she brought them to me, and they were in a complete mess. And it took me 3-4 months before I was able to help them clear themselves off the Ouija board completely. It wasn't a simple transaction because it was like an addiction. And when I'd met the father, he was so convinced that this was real, which it was real. But what is real and what is love and what is negative or something that steals our power? So my feeling, this is only my feeling, my experiences of a Ouija board is of that you give your power away to something that's ready to steal your power and manipulate you and convince you to do things that may not be quite right, that may not be what you perceived the Ouija board to be. I have been to many houses and cleared many negative energy, spirits, whatever you want to call them, ghosts or entities. Well, they're all names, but all it is I call it negative energy. There's a reason for that, because I don't want to go too deep and look into things that aren't important, because the more you look into dark things, the more you fuel it. So we know there's negativity, there's dark and light. But all I concentrate on is sending the light into that and clearing it, so then it's gone. So therefore, if you ask me, what is this? How does this happen? I don't know. But all I know is that I don't want to know, but I'll go in there and clear it, get rid of it. I will help you become stronger than it, and for you to become powerful, that you don't need a Ouija board. Do you need a Ouija board? I mean, seriously, do we need one? You'll probably look at me now and say, how hypocritical are you when you've read for people and, do they need you? But you know what? Most of my 12 years have been to tell people that they don't need to come to people like me. My work is to help people be able to read for themselves, in a sense, that feel themselves and, show them that the light is more stronger than the dark. It's a complicated situation, and I know I sound really hypocritical. I know it does, but truthfully, when I read for people, when I've read for people, I've only sent beautiful energy to them to make them feel stronger, to believe in themselves. And when they don't come back to me, I am happy, because it means that the work has been done. But if people keep coming back, I know I'm doing something wrong. So I've always worked upon helping people find their higher self, not to look for people like me. Gosh, can you understand what that means? I didn't come into this work because I wanted to make money. I didn't come into this work to steal your power and to tell you how amazing I am because I know all these things about you. I came into this work because I wanted to help you feel amazing and strong, that you can walk your path and be who you are and to light that flame within you. To end this message, I would say there is far more beautiful things in life to focus on than the Ouija board. Your meditation, your path of enlightenment, of love and happiness and inner peace is not always through things like the Ouija board. It is through happiness. It is through doing good for others. It is finding your path through everything that happens in and around you on a daily basis. The miracles and magic are always there. You don't need a Ouija board to give you that. Your messages from the spirit world of love, you don't need a board to give you that. You simply need you. I don't want to hurt anybody if you're using the Ouija board and if you use it right. And I don't know what is wrong or right with Ouija board. I don't know anything about it. But all I can share with you today is my experiences of what I've seen. And at just one or two stories, I could share. I could probably talk all day about this because I have that many people who have come to me who have been affected by the Ouija board. So if you ask me what I suggest if you are thinking about using the board, I would suggest, if you're going to do it anyway, I would suggest find somebody who is an expert on that particular subject, who is balanced, who will not steal your power, who will not manipulate you, who will help you understand whatever the Ouija board is in a way that the negative doesn't come through. But I would not do it on my own, and I would not do it as fun, and I would not do it with people who have no knowledge of light and dark, because there is always light and dark, dear friends. That's what life is. It is all about that. So I'll leave you on this note. If my daughter said to me today, Dad, I've just bought a Ouija board, I would say to her, my sweetheart, there is nothing that you need along your journey of life that you cannot find within yourself. So choose wisely. I leave you all with my hand on my heart saying, I love you all. I love you. I love you. Thank you for subscribing to Mark Bajerski YouTube channel. Hey guys, I'm not so sure if this really helped you in any way, but this came from a good heart, and I don't mean to offend anybody who uses the Ouija board as a living, because I'm sure there are thousands of people out there who know exactly how to use it. Have you ever heard of the shamanic drink that they take from a herb? Has anybody ever heard of it? It's called ayahuasca, okay? People often ask me about it, and I often say to people, I have seen people affected by that so badly, and yet I've seen people affected by that so lovingly. Choose wisely, whatever you do in life. Research what you do before you do anything, and whoever you do it with, make sure they are of a pure heart and they know exactly what they're doing. Therefore, you have that. I do not recommend anybody to use ayahuasca. I do not recommend anybody to take drugs in any way. What I say is that the highest form of enlightenment is through yourself. So I meditate every day. I clear my mind and my thoughts as much as I can. I try to bring love into my heart. I try to clear away negativity in my life. That, my dear friends, leads you to the most beautiful place where the Buddha sat under the tree, and at one point he touched nirvana. That's what I work on every day, and I leave you with that message. Love you all. Have a great day. Life's beautiful.